Welcome and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch. I am your own personal sales maven here to offer you tips and strategies and techniques to master your sales conversation. Today, I'm going to be sharing the top 3 mistakes women entrepreneurs are making in their sales conversations and, more importantly, how to fix them. So, thank you for being here. This is a solo episode. It's just me and you here talking. And if you've ever had a call or a conversation with a prospective client and walked away and thought to yourself, I'm not sure what just happened. You're in the right place because that's what we're going to be talking about today is getting past those moments of I'm not sure what happened and actually knowing what happened and how to course correct in these particular conversations. So that's what we're going to talk about. All right. Mistake number 1 is hinting at an offer instead of clearly extending the invitation to work with you. So, how that tends to show up in a conversation with a prospective client is you give tons of value. You're building rapport, you're doing a great job with the relationship piece. And then you say to the person, so, yeah, let me know if you're interested. This is such a big mistake because your job is to earn the business. Your job is to guide the conversation. Your job is to make it easy for this person to make a decision to work with you. And that only comes through you having a clear invitation so that they can make a decision. If you're not issuing invitations, people don't really know what they're supposed to do next. So when you say to somebody, let me know if you're interested, and I understand why women say this, it's this like, I don't want to be pushy, I don't want to be aggressive. So I just want the person to know that, hey, if they want to work with me, I would totally want to work with them. But it's too convoluted, it's too vague. It causes the other person to have to do all the work to figure out what they're supposed to do or say next. And the idea of let me know, actually, this is one of those statements I often recommend. If I could get this out of the majority of my clients' language, this let me know, writing it, saying it, you're essentially saying to the other person, like, I'm more important, I'm too busy. You take all the effort, you make the effort to hire like to pay me money. It's crazy this let me know if you're interested kind of statement. So instead, we have to be really clear in your conversation, in your ability to guide a sales conversation, what that logical next step is. And so the way you do this is by issuing invitations. And oftentimes that invitation is also a form of asking permission. So I have often said that to be successful in a sales conversation with somebody, you need 3 things. You need first to know that they have a need or a want for what it is that you offer. The second thing you need is to know that what like you have an offer that's going to meet that need. And then the third thing is you need permission to put the offer in front of them. So when I'm talking about this idea of having that clear invitation, you can do this. You can ask permission in the form of an invitation. You could say something like, based on what you shared, I do see some ways that we could work together. Would you be interested in talking through those now? Just even that is like, it shows respect to the other person. It puts the ball in their court so they can make a decision. And it's a simple, easy decision for them to make in that moment. It's not something they have to like go and think about because they just have a little bit of information. And we're just asking if they would like a little more information, which is going to be ways to work with you. If you're doing the let me know and getting off the phone with your calls, you're not only leaving money on the table and hurting your business, but you're leaving people unsatisfied with their conversations with you. And I guess, one of my priorities is I want people to feel good about their interactions with me, and I hope that you do as well, right? Like you want people to have enjoyed the conversation with you. one of the ways that will make the conversation more satisfying to the prospect is to know what is the logical next step. And your job is to do that through issuing an invitation. So, mistake number one, hinting at the offer instead of clearly extending the invitation, right? Once you kind of get that out of the way, oh my gosh, the sales conversations get easier. You get more yeses. People are more inclined to like be excited and get the results of what the kind of work it is that you're doing in the world is going to make in their life. And we want people to have results, right? So that only comes by them actually hiring you. Okay. So here's mistake number two, winging the conversation without a clear process. And here's why this is a mistake, because a lot of times people think that sales is a natural born ability. You have charisma or you don't. And that's just baloney, frankly. Anybody can learn how to sell. And there is some structure and some process to it. This is why I teach the selling staircase, the 5 steps, of a successful sales conversation is not to like make people feel like they're in a straitjacket in a sales conversation, but actually to give them the freedom to breathe, to know where am I in the conversation and what do I do next. This idea of like winging it in your sales conversations is such a big mistake because frankly, and I mean this with love, chances are you're probably not a good winging it kind of person. Because when we wing it, we do things like we forget to spend time asking the right questions. We overtalk. We spend way too much time talking at the client instead of having real conversation and eliciting and getting the information you need to know to earn their business. The other thing is we will undersell when we're winging it. We'll undersell our product or our service. And so the way you fix this is by having a clear process. And this is why I teach like when you get to your discovery call, you're in step 3 of the selling staircase. And there are some really strategic things to be done in step 3, pre-framing, asking questions. There's 2 types of questions that you should be asking in your discovery call. The first one is your right fit questions, like the is this the right potential client? Do I have a solution? Do they have a need? Do I have a solution? And then the second type of question is your expertise questions. This is where you're planting seeds about what's possible for them, having them start to have some awareness around what's missing and what needs to happen. And of course, the what needs to happen is to hire you to get the solution to the thing that they're struggling with or the thing that they want solved, right? So having a process for it keeps you on track. It also keeps you from giving away your services for free during your coaching, during your consult calls. It it keeps a structure for the prospect, so it makes it easy for them to follow along in the conversation. So I always say like, you don't show up to your discovery calls without having a set list of questions. Doesn't mean you have to ask every question. And it's not about sounding like a robot, it's about being strategic. And when you get strategic in your sales conversations, the conversations get so much easier for you and for your buyer. And that's the most important thing. Your buyer should feel like this was smooth, this was easy. Some of the feedback that I get from clients after they start implementing these strategies, the things that I teach, is they will start getting feedback from their prospective clients about how much they enjoyed the sales process with them. These are, my clients are people who often come to me going like, the idea of selling, Nikki, it's so scary, or I hate sales, or, and then fast forward, they start implementing some of these really simple techniques into their sales conversations. And now people are recognizing how good the sales process is, how much they enjoy being sold to by my clients. I love that. I love that so much. And like, that's the point, right? People should feel good about the conversation. So when you have a process and when you follow it, you create safety in the mind of the buyer. It's easier for them to go step by step with you. It's not like we're all over the map and I don't know what's supposed to happen next. I don't know what I'm supposed to do next from the buyer standpoint. Like, you're guiding that conversation and you're guiding it because you have some structure and some strategy to it. So, anytime somebody reaches out to me and says, I'm really struggling with my consult calls. And I always ask, like, what's your average close rate on your consult calls? I expect my clients to be over 50%, frankly, 75% or more close rate on their calls. And there's some real strategic ways to get there. And anytime somebody says that they have a less than 50% close rate, I have a few core questions that I ask, and I can almost anticipate what their answers are going to be because I've been doing this now for 12 years. So, the first question I ask is, do you pre-frame your start of your discovery calls? The answer is, I don't know if the answer has ever been yes. If they have a less than 50% close rate, I would be willing to put money on it that the answer is no. They don't pre-frame. They don't have a set list of questions that they ask. And as soon as we can put these things in place, their close rates go up, their consultation close rates. So super important to have a structure to your conversation, having a process. All right, so we were talking about mistake number 2, winging the conversation instead of having a clear process. And then here's the third one that we're going to talk about before we wrap up the episode, which this is a big one. This is a mindset thing, is waiting to feel confident before fully showing up in your business and in your sales conversations. So, how this usually kind of comes about and what this looks like is you continue to tweak your offers, you continue to redo your website, you continue to, think about it, post on social media, but you're waiting for that like ready feeling before you really put yourself out there and start selling, start talking about your offer, start issuing invitations because you think like, oh, I got to wait till I'm confident for it. But that's not how it works. Confidence does not come before the sale. Confidence actually comes from taking aligned action and practicing your language. It's like building a muscle, like you have to work it. You got to work that muscle. You have to be willing to put in the reps, and then your confidence grows. So, this idea that you're going to wait until you take action and you're going to wait until you feel confident, like your business, you'll never get there. It's kind of like I want to just shake my head, but also it's so frustrating to me when somebody says like, I know I need to work with you, Nikki. I know I need a sales coach, but I need to wait until I close more sales before I can hire you. And I don't want to take anything away from the idea that I understand the need to be really efficient in how you spend your dollars in your business. I get that. But that is the same as this like, I'm going to wait until I feel confident before I put myself out there. I'm going to wait and hire a sales coach until I have more sales. Like that is the most, honestly, I mean this with love too. It's the most ridiculous comment when somebody says that to me because I think like you're already leaving money on the table, I guarantee you. Like you're already missing sales because you don't understand the process. You don't have a structure. You're not sure what to say or what to do in these situations. And so people are walking away from conversations with you, not knowing what to do next, not feeling satisfied, not having had an invitation issued to them. And so like I can honestly say that when somebody says to me like I really want to work with you, I know I need to hire you, but I need to have more sales before I do that. I just like that person out of sight, out of mind. Like I know they're not going to hire me because they're not going to get more sales until they understand the selling process. Now, I'm not saying like you're never going to get sales unless you hire me. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you're never going to get sales until you understand the process and until you're able to implement the structure of a successful sales conversation. The sales aren't going to come. The like, what is the hope is not a strategy, right? Like, if you're hoping that people are going to just go to your website and buy from you, you're just hoping that somebody's going to send you an email with a link, to a payment that they're just going to pay you. Like that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. And anybody who's telling you that it works that way, like I'm sorry, but I would question the trustworthiness of those types of statements because it's baloney. It's just baloney. I'm saying the nice word because I really feel like a curse word is more appropriate here, but it's baloney. I would say like tell those people to go kick rocks. Like Like they're just not being candid. And you're also, if you're telling yourself this, like I need more sales before I can learn how to sell successfully, like it just it just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think of an analogy here. It's like saying I I need to hydrate, but until I'm hydrated, I'm not going to drink any water or any liquids. But I really need to hydrate, but until I need to wait to drink any water until I'm hydrated. That like what? It just doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, this idea of waiting to show up in your business, waiting to sell until you feel confident, no, like people will not buy from you if they don't know what your offer is. If you're not putting your offers out there, if you're not making it clear as to what people can purchase from you, they aren't going to purchase from you. This is another like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I realize as I'm in these episodes, like, oh, Nikki, you're on your soapbox. These become soapbox moments for me. Wasn't the intent when I outlined this episode. And yet, this idea of like, I cannot tell you how many people are like, well, I don't want to tell people what my offers are because I don't know if they're interested. How would you know if they're interested if they don't know what your offer is? Like, you've got to put yourself out there. You have to you have to put the reps out there. You have to be willing to get on calls with people. It's like, so you figure out what you don't know. Like, and you figure out like, what do I do differently next time? So this waiting to feel confident, waiting to learn how to do it until something magically happens, like, come on, be honest with yourself. Like, dive in, dip your toe in the water, right? Like, that's okay. And whether you hire a sales coach or read a sales book, or if you just don't do anything, you have to do reps. You have to get on calls with people. You have to put yourself in situations where your offer is out there and people know how to buy from you, because you won't know if you have the right offer if you don't put it out into the marketplace and people can give you feedback either by purchasing it and you delivering on it, or by nobody purchasing it and you got to tweak the offer. Like that's just how it works. So it might feel awkward, and that's okay. It's think you're building a muscle, like I probably share this too often, just because it's something that I do every day, but I do counter push-ups in the morning. Like, I know I don't look like I do counter push-ups, but I do. And I remember when I first started doing them and I really couldn't do like even 5. And now I do 50 every morning. I probably should make myself do more, but 50 is my like, okay, I feel like I can like check that off the box and move on to the next thing that I'm supposed to do today as part of my routine. But this idea of like, I, if I had said I'm never going to do counter push-ups until I can do 50, like I would have never got there, right? So you got to build the muscle. I know you can't see the muscles in my arms, but they're there. They've built up over time. They're not like bulging, and I'm not in any way going to be like, let me show you my arms, but they're there. And it's because I did the reps. You have to do the reps in sales. Okay. We're going to wrap up. These are those 3 things, the 3 mistakes that women are making in their sales conversations, and more importantly, how to fix them. So just really quickly recap here. Number 1, hinting at your offer instead of clearly issuing an invitation. So how do you fix it? You get clear on your invitation language. Invitation language, something as simple as, is that something you'd like to learn more about? Should we get you signed up? Based on what you shared, you'd be an ideal client for XYZ program. Is that something you'd like to talk through now? Like, those are invitations. You can issue them. And I promise it won't be scary. Maybe at first, but the other person, it won't be scary to them. It'll just be like, oh yeah, this feels natural. I can say yes or no now, and we can move the conversation along. Number 2, winging the conversation without a clear process, especially when you get to your consult calls. Having some structure to it will make or break your conversion rate. So you got to have some structure. You got to pre-frame. You have to have the right set of questions. You have to know how to issue that invitation to move to the proposal part. When you get to the proposal part, you need to know how to lay out your offer clearly. And then once you lay out your offer, you need to issue close language. No more winging it. Like this structure will absolutely increase your close rate, just having some structure to it. And number three, waiting till you feel confident before you're fully showing up. It's about getting the reps in. So get the reps in, put yourself out there, let people know how to buy your offer. Just see what happens. And then you'll know what to do different. You'll know what works and you'll know what doesn't work. And then you can tweak from there. And that's all it is. It's just tweaking. I like the word tweaking. I know sometimes it sounds like it has a negative connotation, but for me, like little tiny tweaks are manageable. So it isn't about, throwing everything out and starting from scratch. It's just tweaking. And when you can just tweak this little thing, it's like you're dialing something in and it gets better, it gets easier. All right. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the Sales Maven podcast. I'm so grateful that you're here. And when you're ready, I'm here. Reach out. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about what is working in your business and what isn't, and how can I support you to level up to that next thing you want to accomplish in your business, to increase your close rate, to put out that new offer, to engage, your retainer clients in a whole new way. Like whatever that thing is, I'm here and it would be my honor to serve you. So reach out. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day. Take care.